What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, creative faces? My name is Ella, and this is the Creative Sound YouTube channel. Yes, yes, indeed, we are in here. All right, so if you guys can't tell, this is a live show. It's a live Q&A from the Sound Box, where I give you guys a platform to ask me whatever you like, and hopefully I can answer those questions, those bubbling questions that you guys have stirring up in your system. One of the things that happened recently was the new update for Studio One 4.5.3, which give us now DAW integration with Komplete Kontrol keyboard. And I noticed a lot of you guys have the M32, and according to my knowledge, it works pretty well with that controller as well. So that is what's up. I don't have that controller. It's still on its way. It's just been out of stock, but yeah, but appreciate you guys that owns that product. Let me know that it works pretty well. J Beats, what's up? What's in the new version? Well, the main thing, I mean, there is a couple of things that were put in the update. Like I don't remember if I have that file. It's a list of things that came inside of, let's see if I can pull it up. It's a list of things that came in the update. But the main thing is that we now have integration with Komplete Kontrol controllers in Studio One. That is really the main thing. That's all I really care about, to be honest with you. Okay. Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna have to cut this video. Appreciate you. You know, I think that's every YouTuber issue. Like they'll go live and then like we'll be like halfway through everything, and then when we decide to read the comments, a bunch of you guys say, "Hey, bro, no audio," and I'm looking like, "Oh, that's crazy." All right, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna go back and like cut. I gotta go through everything all over again. All right, so. All right, what's up, guys? L up here from Creative Sound. We're going to go through these notes here. 4.5.3 sounds crazy to me because I just explained that I had no audio earlier. So now we have audio. We can just kind of go through everything. But the main and major thing about this update is the fact that we now have integration between Komplete Kontrol, this keyboard that was designed by Native Instruments. And a lot of you guys had told me that you guys can get that this integration with the M32 keyboards. I don't have that one, but I appreciate you guys for letting me know that that's something that you guys are able to do, which is pretty cool. Mine is still on the way. I have one that's been on the way for a while, and it's just been out of stock. So there's no way I can test that, but I have the Komplete Kontrol, the S49 version here, and the integration is working very well. I like what they're doing, and this is the first step. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's not perfect, but this is definitely a step in the right direction. And to be honest, it's perfect for me. Like it's perfect. Like I'm good. I have the play, the stop, the record, the metro, all of that works. I have no complaints actually. So like the record works like it's supposed to. Stop, play. One thing I don't know how to get the navigator, this scroll wheel here. It wants to make adjustments to whatever channel I am selected on. I guess if I hit shift, maybe no, still doing the same thing. That's something I've noticed. Because I would like the okay, I can now what I've noticed is as I click down is clicking each chop. I'm not sure if it's supposed to go up, like select the channel. Let's see what happens if I keep going up. Nope, it's just going. Now that's weird. Maybe I don't know if that's well. If you, now I'm clicking my. I'm going this way. I'm trying to imagine how I'm doing that in the camera. I'm going. Yeah, that's right. I'm looking. So I'm this thing here. I'm thinking in my mind as I am in the range window that when I click down, it's going down in increments, up and down. So if you click up and down, I'm thinking it's going, but actually when you go side to side, it's, but if you look at the screen, I get it. So you just looking at the screen is selecting the different, okay, that makes sense, I guess. Now the up and down is, so if I go to the next track, I got to get used to that. Because when I click, it's selecting each. I don't know. I mean, the fact that it works, you know, I'm like, whatever. I'm just taking it. You know what I mean? All right, let's get to some of these questions. I appreciate you guys letting me know I didn't have any audio earlier. I feel like a crazy fool. Let me know if you okay, I'm trying to get through all the ones that said no audio. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna get back to the notes. Yeah, I kind of explained half of everything, but I didn't have any audio. What's up, everybody, though? What's up with you guys? How you guys doing? Okay, so the question is, didn't I have this with the mappings? No. I'm trying to move the question up so you guys can see. Okay, I'll just leave it up for a second. My little, you dig, is kind of doing this thing right here. But so if you guys remember me doing what's the difference? Okay, so you guys remember me doing the video before about getting your machine. I mean, not your machine. Yeah, machine is on my mind right now. Let's put that question back up. So this is the question. So like, if I think I understand you when you say like, what's the difference? Like, you know, like, didn't you explain this before? No, I didn't. I've done a video. See, the whole thing with me is workflow, right? I try to do things to make things easier, get to things quicker, and you know, that type of thing. So I'm always interested in finding out how to connect my hardware with my software. So yes, I did do a video showing you guys how to do that inside of Personas, but we were limited. We were limited in a way that I think only the play, the stop, the record, and I think loop worked. But the mute didn't work. The solo didn't work. The mixer window was not there. It just had that MIDI, the MIDI setup that we always see. You know, when you working in a DAW that's not native instrument, not machine, right? Or the S control software, you just get that standard logo look, right? And that is what I was looking at. So with the integration, that's the whole thing and the whole reason why I was fighting for it, because DAW integration allows this specific keyboard to talk to Studio One in a way that is a little bit more advanced. So now I can go in, and I just uploaded a video yesterday, so I encourage you guys to check that out. I kind of go more so in detail, and I had my camera to zoom in and show you guys exactly what's going on in conjunction to hardware and software. So I explained that. So just look at that video. It's called Studio One 4.5.3 Complete Kontrol DAW Integration. That's the name of the video. I just posted that. So just check that out. And then you have to go into your system, your preference, and there is a slot for native instruments now. It's a slot for the keyboard. Before we had to, it was a generic way of doing that. So when I did that, when I showed you guys how to do that, originally, the thing that happened was, what I've noticed, every time I shut down my system and I come back and reboot everything, you know, get ready to start on something for the day, I had to keep connecting that. Every time I had to go into my preference area and reconnect it. It was like it never saved. Like it was there, but it always is like it doesn't automatically connect. So I had to go in and reconnect and then select DAW. Yeah, it was DAW, Complete DAW. I had to do that every time. So now with integration, now I've shut down Studio One, cut off my computer several times since the integration, and when I go back in Studio One now, everything is there, like nothing happens. So that's one thing I've noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that's one thing I've noticed. And of course, if we have everything, like we have the faders, I can see the faders, I can bank over, I can see what's going on, I can, you know, and it's seamless. Is perfect. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I've noticed that, like when I'm inside of machine, like for instance, if I have machine plug-in, now machine does this thing all the time. Like the keyboard talks to machine. Like if you have that going, it's gonna automatically go to machine, right? So the thing I discovered in that video was if I click on a channel, like an audio channel or something that's not associated with native instrument, right? What I had to do was click MIDI first and then go back to mixer. And then I'll have the mixer of Studio One instead of the mixer of machine, if that makes any sense. So it's like you hit MIDI, it kind of like resets. You know, it's like ground zero. And it's waiting on the next command. And then hit mixer. Oh, now, okay, Studio One is who we supposed to be talking to right now. I don't know if that's a bug, if that's supposed to happen, but should I be complaining about that? You guys know how long it took us to get here. So it's like, if that's all I gotta do, I'm cool with that. Hit MIDI and then go back to, it is what it is, you know what I mean? And like I mentioned, we have mute, solo, and like just make sure you hold down mute and then mute whatever you want, if that's what you're trying to do, or hit solo and hit whatever. You just gotta hold it down. Now, someone said that they was experiencing a black screen. Now, I haven't experienced that, but I did say in my video that you need to make sure that your keyboard have the latest firmware update. And then you have to have Studio One 4.5.3, obviously, in order for this to work. So those are the first two things you need to do. Make sure everything is updated. And then, you know, if you're not, I can only imagine what type of problems you may have. You just go to the Personas website. If your key, actually, I'm trying to remember how that works. Mine is set up where the firmware update just pops up, like it automatically updates me. Like whenever they push it out, there's something. I get an update, and then it asks me to update or whatever. And then I have to go and download the firmware or whatever, and yeah, that type of thing. But you definitely want to make sure that that's working. So now we can go and finish the list. So the first thing was native instruments. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me get to some of these questions. So, K-Sign, what happened? Do you use? Okay, what headphones do you use, and are they open back? Okay, I'm gonna address that. I'm gonna address that. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna go through some of this list. So, so basically here, so the next thing on the list here, I mentioned something about macOS support for Apple nativeization. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't think that pertains to me because I never heard of that term. Remove settings, remove plugin settings function for plugin manager. So like if you go to the plugin manager here, the cool thing about this is that you can definitely manage things here. Like it break things down if you want to just look at VST2 plugins, or you just want to look at VST3 plugins, or if you just want to look at AU plugins, or say you want to be specific and say you want to just look at Acusonus plugins. Looks like they don't have any VST3 plugins, so it's just VST2. It looks like you have AU as well. So if you want to just narrow things down like that, then you can do that. So the new thing that they add was remove plugin setting. So whatever settings you had, you can actually click this here and then remove the settings. You can also update your plugin. And what I've noticed that if you have a particular issue with any plugins, they get blacklisted here automatically. So to help your launching loads a lot smoother, because Studio One is smart enough to blacklist it. Is not going to go and try to load instant scale or chords. The two things I have blacklisted because I know that they had issues with those in the past before. But I can have them removed, or I can have them reset the blacklist. Also, if you don't want to see any specific plugins in your setup, you can definitely have them removed here. So that's pretty cool. Like that's nice. The other thing is, let's see, volume automation curve now compensates logarithmic fader curve. I have not tested that out yet, but I think that's really cool that we now have that. Select notes command is now applicable to muted notes. Now before, in the past, I'm guessing that when you select notes in the the piano roll, like say for instance, if I was to, let's see, where's my pen to, where is it? It is right here. Okay, say for instance, in here, let's get out of there. What is that? So in my piano roll, say for instance, what is going on? Oh, I'm on the audio. Okay, let's just go here. All right, let's change our to, let's say, like for instance, we here, and you know, I'm just gonna add anything, right? Blah 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 blah, whatever. I don't care what that is. Okay. So if I mute this note, boom, it's muted, right? And if I mute that note, boom. And I'm guessing muting notes, I do that sometimes. I don't do that all the time, but like I think for the most part, people who is doing like variations or whatever, maybe you have something, you know, in there, you just want to mute it just to see what it sounds like before you delete it, because you don't want to forget that note, what you was trying to achieve, so you'll mute it instead. You might need it later. It's just all types of reasons why you will mute a note, right? But when you select everything and you have muted notes in there, I think in the past, the thing was when you select them, the muted notes was not selectable. In case I wanted to select everything here and duplicate down the line or whatever the case may be, right? I usually don't do that from this point. I usually, if I am duplicating something, I usually just come up here and just like take this, the actual region, you know, the region block or whatever, and I'll just duplicate that. That's how I usually do it. And the muted notes comes with it. You know what I mean? There's no selecting, but in the event that you guys are doing things like that, I know that there's instances where that happens. I guess it wasn't selectable before if it was muted, but now they changed that. Now, if it is muted, you can move muted notes along with active notes, you know, in the same selection, which is something that they add. All right. So that's cool. Channel polarity switch is now excluded from grouping. Now with grouping, this is I really don't deal with grouping. It's cool, but with grouping, I'm used to just grouping things inside of a folder. So I'll just put things in a folder, like drums, for instance, you know, because when I'm editing drums, you know, there's something like this little, like say for instance, if I was to group, and I'm just screwing this project all up. But say for instance, I group this right here. I really don't know if y'all can see that. Anyway, right here, for instance, there's this little icon up here that I click. Boom. Anything that's in that folder is grouped together. So when I press any wave or any whatever that's in that folder, it is grouped, and I can move everything at once. And that has been in Studio One for a while. The grouping, that's like another thing, like, and it has advanced features, like pretty cool features. I just don't use it. Like I use it a couple of times, but that's not something I do all the time. But when they mentioned that, they took off polarity switch. So for you guys that matters to the most, do know that they did that for you guys. All right, so the next one is added commands for zoom, for vertical zoom in and out. So I'm guessing, and it said fine next to it. I'm guessing you can now fine tune like what I just did just a few seconds ago. Like masses, like I can zoom in and out in increments. Like it's just increments. And I'm cool with that. I actually like it that way, but I guess there's a command to, I don't know, fine tune, zoom in and out, whatever. I don't know. Let's see. This is also something that's associated. I'm just looking. I don't know. It's something that I don't really concern me right now. Dragging multiple patterns to the browser is now supported. So in this instance, if you're dealing with dragging like multiple, okay, if you guys deal with patterns, do know that there's a way to save patterns. So like you do a pattern, you can save a pattern into a folder in your files, whatever. And then I guess before if you was to drag a pattern from somewhere, you could only drag one at a time. Now you could drag multiple. I don't use patterns because I treat each song differently, separately. There's a different vibe, there's a different feeling for each song. I build from scratch. That's just my workflow. But patterns is great. This thing is pretty cool because it does increase the workflow for some of you guys that are creating like similar style music and you want to just get something done real quick, boom, 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 boom. And this works really great for you guys. But me, like, even though I want a quicker workflow, it's one of those things with me that like, I have to feel like, I need to feel like I'm in there and creating from the start. Cause I don't know, it's just a different vibe for me. Like I don't know. I have so much stuff and I don't know. I just get creative and I don't like doing the same thing twice, if that makes any sense. All right, so improve side chain handling for VST2 plugins. Improve side chain handling. I'm guessing that's something internally. I don't think that is anything that we'll see like, yeah, I don't, yeah. You guys know that they added this, I think it was 4.5. Like we can add like sidechain is easier now in Studio One. But the handling part of it, I think that's internal. It's something, but you know what that is in the ad? This is a new feature. So I have to play with that a little more and see where they're coming from when they say new feature and improvement. Okay, improvement. So it improved it. Okay. So it wouldn't necessarily be a bug fix. It would just be improvement. Okay, improved. Yeah, duh. It says it right here. Improved. Improved Chinese localization. I'm not going to touch on that subject because I am not Chinese. I have no reason to look for anything Chinese. If I'm working on a Chinese project, it'd probably be like sounds, dealing with something like that, and in doing so, I would go for just everything is labeled in English. All right, so there's a little, it's a decent list of issues that's been fixed. So the fixed features, let's see, mixer. So these are towards mixers, scratch pad. Any of you guys use a scratch pad? I use the scratch pad from here, here and there. Not as much, but wrong instrument, part length, lost focus, okay, loop range loss. Okay, they fixed that. Pattern editor, variation name cannot be edited from pattern editor toolbar. Okay. Audio batch converter. Who got the audio batch converter? The audio batch converter is not something that was added in Studio One. It's actually an additional feature that you have to purchase in order to take advantage of that. And the whole point of audio batch converter is it's actually pretty cool. You have it's for mix engineers, pretty much. If you're a mix engineer and you are one of those guys that get projects and people don't necessarily know what should be mono or stereo, that program is an addition to your workflow, and it helps you out because you can actually go in and say, hey, all of these should be mono, and you can select all of them. Boom. This should be stereo. Boom. You can select all that, and it export everything out at the same time. Boom. And it handles the issue. And I think it does more than that. I don't know if it goes into like labeling and everything as well. I haven't looked that deep into it, but like it's pretty cool. When I saw it the first time. Maybe I could touch on it later on when I get my hands on it. But from my understanding, it's just a simple and easy way to go in and get everything lined up. You know, instead of going in the project and fixing everything, you got it one by one, but you know, inside the batch converter. But anyway, the crash on the repairing sample rate with certain MP3 files has been fixed. That's what it's saying here. Multi-instrument transform restore amidst channel inserts. Okay. The QWERTY keyboard device has ROM mapping in Swiss and Canada French layout. That actually makes sense. I mean, if the people working on this is English and you're not Canadian or Swiss or French, it's sometimes you can mess up. No input metering during record. No input no input metering during record with tape style and disabled monitoring. I don't know if that's something I've noticed with tape style. Okay. That's been fixed. Crash on invoking insert rest command when not in step record mode. So it's just a bunch of things that they fixed. I'm just eyeballing. This is my first time actually going down this line, and I'm just trying to process stuff in my head. Like, did I actually experience this? I don't know. There's been like some little wonky things happen here and there, but it's like not enough to say, God done it, why is this happening? You know, it's not nothing like that for me. Instrument presets list, browser out of sync, chord track, all that. First note. Now this is huge for me. First note missing in bounce in certain cases. This was something that used to happen and they fixed it. I thought they fixed it. Maybe something else happened. I don't know. Short notes being dropped with large block size. All right, so that's all I have for you guys as far as reading the notes and release notes and things like that. The notes actually comes like when you update, it gives you an option to download the release notes and so you can see like what they've done and you can test them out yourself. All right, going to the questions, the Q&A. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Now to address that, sorry Rob for waiting. You know, my tactic is to keep you watching this video as long as possible. So let's address the first one here. So let's address the first one. So Mr. R. Rob, let's change that question. I have to get used to this thing because it's doing something totally different. That's not what we want to see. One of the questions is, do you use AU or VST? Me personally, I like AU. Now, I think they both work the same. VST is universal across all platforms. AU is only dealing with Macs or Logic. Logic Logic is the one I know that's no, it's not. Studio One supports AU. But there's a bunch of other platforms that don't support AU. AU is a Mac thing. Just like when you bounce something out in what is it? It's not Wave, but it's I can't remember. It's one of the ways you bounce something. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. If I was to bounce out something, AIFF. AIFF is a Mac thing. It is not universal. Wave is universal. VST is universal. AU is a Mac thing. So I mean, so VST. Now I like VST3, and a lot of plugins are updating to VST3, and the reason being is it's a different protocol. It's a different way of packing those plugins to use. It's pretty much optimized plugins, you know. So a lot of these companies are switching to VST3, which is fantastic because now your projects will run a whole lot faster. Bitwig supports VST3. Studio One actually supports VST3 because we were just in the plugin manager, but they didn't before. Or maybe they did. But maybe I didn't have any plugins that supported VST3, you know. But yeah, VST, I would prefer VST3. But I don't have a preference. It's either or, like whatever comes first. I try to use VSTs more lately than ever. It used to be like an AU thing because that was what I used to. Like, man, AU is the best because I was coming from Logic and I'm like, yeah, AU everything. But I'm getting more into like universal type things, you know what I mean? Because if I need to send this off somewhere, somebody to work on or whatever, and they don't have a Mac or whatever, like say for instance, that would suck if I was to send one of you guys this project and I have AU plugins in here, and this is a Mac, and I send it to you in a PC. Is that right? I'm hearing like a bunch of things in my head. No, I'm gonna get to your question, bro. I'm just going. I got you. Your question was actually, and again, my idea was to keep you watching, keep you waiting, bro. But to address the other question, I'm trying to find that question so I can put it up on the screen. It was on the screen. All right. The question was, the headphones that I'm using right now, these are the AKG 70, the K702. I believe that's what it is. These are open backs. And then I have these, which is pretty good. I like these. These are Status Audio headphones. These are closed back. I am impressed with the sound that comes out of these things, which is the reason why you guys see me wear these a lot in some of my videos. But there's different purposes, like different reasons why I do different things. Like I wear these when I want to, I wear these for the most professional approach in music, because these are open back and it gives me that open, wide stereo image, which is the reason why I use these. It gives me that sound as if I was playing music out of my speakers, because you're not supposed to be mixing on headphones. Actually, I'm gonna take that back. I feel like I need to change the rule, like as if I have any power to, right? But I want to say, you know, and this is all about being creative, right? We breaking the rules here. You guys hear me say that, you know, stay creative without rules. Here's the thing: the music industry has changed. Everything has evolved. Things are not the way it used to be anymore. You know, mixing was only, or it used to be, a thing that happens in big studios where you spend a lot of money to get stuff mixed at, right? Now people have setups in their bedrooms and, you know, that type of thing. And people listen to music on Apple earphones, earbuds, the Beats. Remember, the Beats was a huge thing, which was the Beats. The Beats was like backwards. It was like, who would listen to, like, and I get that you guys like bass heavy music, you know, some people, but I mean the Beats was like bass heavy, like club bass heavy, and it was like ridiculous bass heavy to the point where you couldn't hear hardly anything in the headphones. So mix engineers got clever and started mixing in headphones or in earbuds, because that's where most people listen to their music. So I listen to my music through my monitors. I listen to it through these headphones. And after I get a professional idea of like where I want to go, I definitely check my mix in my laptop, in my phone, making sure my kick is punching. So the rule of thumb is you're supposed to mix with speakers, monitors or whatnot. And but if you don't have monitors, definitely purchase some headphones, but you want to purchase some good ones. I say if you can't get monitors, open back headphones would be the best way to go, because if you're wearing closed back headphones, you are doing a lot of things to compensate for what you hear in closed back settings. And then when you play it out in your system, you're like, wait, that's not how I was trying to the translation is off somewhere. So I just go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I'll put these on sometimes, and then I'll these are great for like vocalists. Like if you got a vocalist that's singing in the booth, or if you don't have a booth, whatever the case may be, these are great because they like cover your ears, you know, and it doesn't leak the sound. These will be bad for singing or rapping or whatever, because the sound actually leaks through. So if you're mixing on open back, make sure that you are around people who don't mind hearing a little bit of your music. If you want to keep it private, do not wear open backs. Ah, hope I answered that for you. I try to do the best I can. All right, so the next question is JB say if they can get the X Touch to work better with Studio One. What is the X Touch? I'm curious to know what are you referring to? What's up, Rob? It's two Robs on here. It's a Rob R and there's a Rob Illinois. What is Illinois? Illinois is what I'm thinking you trying you know. Illinois. Rob Illinois. Illinois. I mean like Illinois the state? Or I might be pronouncing that wrong. I told you Studio One was going to do the complete control integration. Go back and look at your last stream. I'm not gonna do that. I take your word for it. That's what's up. That's what's up. I mean, all I can do is just hope for the best. You know, I don't think I was saying, maybe I was. Now I'm thinking about it. I probably was like, I probably was reading your comment, and we was doing a stream, and I'm like, man, you know, it's terrible. You know, we don't have integration yet. And you were probably the one who said, yeah, man, they working on it. They blah, blah. I'm like, really? No, I don't think so. Cause like, you know, I don't think they get it. Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I don't remember what I said, but it just it crushed a lot of people when they came out with this. You know, it was like when I put out that video and then this came out. So I'm like, oh, so that's the solution. Okay. All right. So I'm like, okay, we're not gonna get integration then. And then I think it was at NAMM or some event, can't remember. They released a keyboard. It was who was it? Impact keyboard by Nectar. They got a brand new keyboard that is fully integrative with Studio One, and that's what they pushed. And I think it was a blog on Studio One website pushing this. I was like, oh, it's like they doing any and everything to not give us simple integration. So it's like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. We're not gonna get it. It's clear. But I don't think they understood that that actually broke a lot of people, because I've got a few of you guys who left Studio One because of that. I didn't think it was that serious. I just stayed. Like, I was like, I'm gonna just deal with it. You know what I mean? I guess it would be the same as me like working in Bitwig or going back to Logic just to get a little integration going. Like, this is nice. I get to record, and man, this is great. You know what I mean? I wanted to like get that vibe, but now it's no problem. No problem at all. Let's solo the guitar. No problem. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like the other day, the excitement never really left. It's just like some things is like, I think I'm working this DAW today because I like to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a lot. It's just a few people. It's a handful of you guys who left because of that. You know, I was like, man, that's amazing. People actually, this is serious. Yeah, but I appreciate you that, Rob. I appreciate that. I'm wanting to buy. See, I'm wanting to buy MK2 S49, but can you let me know if I can use Chord mode with Nexus and Omnisphere if I don't use the NI Complete 12? That is now I want to say yes, and here's why. Now, inside a machine, you can pull up a third-party plugin or a third-party instrument inside a machine, and from there you could definitely take advantage of the chord mode and the other mode you speaking of, the chord mode and yeah, the chord mode. So I'm pretty sure Nexus and Omnisphere supports VST2 is definitely standard. So yeah, if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. I don't think the keyboard per se has a chord mode outside of Native Instruments. It doesn't give you that option. Yeah, it doesn't allow you to do that. And yeah. Now that would be pretty cool if, you know what, that might be my next complaint. Give us chord mode in Studio One, because it's grayed out. It's not even there. There's no ARP. That would be pretty cool. I'm gonna wait a month and then I'm gonna complain again. No, I'm joking. Yeah, that's the only way I can see that happening. Let's see. Let me get another question. Hey man, do you record machine MIDI into Studio One, or do you record your MIDI inside of machine and drag it into your DAW? Most of the times I do it in Studio One. If I'm working in machine, like if I have, matter of fact, think I have Machine as one of my plugins inside of this project. Maybe not. In fact, it is. I made a folder. That's exactly what I did. And I was doing all this stuff, messing up everything. Yeah, okay, so Machine. So it just depends. It depends on what I'm doing. Yeah, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm working in Machine, I do everything in Machine, and I just leave it there. But there are times where I need to, like if I want to do things inside of Studio One instead of Machine, I would definitely drag it out. So to have that option is pretty cool because it's like it's either or. It depends on what I'm working on. But yeah, I do take advantage of the MIDI and the audio. I drag either both depending on what I'm doing. Absolutely, that's definitely something I do utilize. But it's not something I do all the, like I don't do something all the time and never do the other. You know what I mean? Oh, these questions are getting good. Let's see. What's the next one? I'm talking about the stream from 2 months ago. I thought the blackout kick. Oh, okay. I like that kick that you were using in the island type. The kick name was Stick Black. Man, I don't remember what happened 2 months ago. But that's what's up. I mean, you know, I had my doubts, and you know, you were right. You know, they came through. Were you the one who was like really confident? And I was like, well, you got some inside stuff going on. Like, let me know. Was that you? Kevin, can you get a scale up plugin and play them by single key and then make a chord sequence and extract the MIDI in your plugin? Let's see if I can understand that question. Oh, that's not a question. You mentioned this to me. You can get a scalar plugin and play them by single. Okay, yeah, I know that. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, matter of fact, like, I showed you guys, I have a scalar. I have two of them. I have an Insta Scale and something. And I also had, like, I don't even know if any of you guys noticed, but inside of Contact, there's a chord scalar in there, and I'm going to blow you away when I show you this. I don't know if you know this, but inside of Studio One, it's this thing called Note Effects. Quarter. Boom. And there's your chords. I don't think anything is playing because there isn't anything on this channel. And you can go a step above that because, like, you can have this as your quarter and I can have multiple instruments going at the same time. And I can make this trigger whatever instrument that I want. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? I can just tell it, hey, I want you to trigger this instrument. Yeah. And in here, there are also presets. Yeah, the presets. Now, what I would like to see them do is update these presets. These presets are pretty good, but this, you know, and you can learn the chords. You can train this thing to learn the chord that you want to articulate, so you can play your own chords, just like a quarter, using one keyboard, one note, Yeah, I mean, there's several ways to, and with the Anatube uh, synth plugin in the Slate bundle, I did a video on that as well. There's also this awesome chord thing in there as well, like some of the modern late sounds. That's another one. Like they make it easy for us to make awesome music, you know. So that's what's up. It's all good, bro. Kevin Smith says MK49 or Push 2. I'm gonna leave that question up. So Kevin says, I'm gonna be honest, I have Serato, Scalar, Logic, Studio One, and Ableton. I'm torn between Push 2 and MKS49. I'm new and learning. You know, that's man, that's I don't know, man. It's crazy right now. The things that are happening. I probably need to do a video based on this. Like this just popped up in my head. If you guys are new in this game, it choosing the platform nowadays, it's harder to choose because now all platforms are like leveling up and they are really coming close to each other. Like back in the day when I got started, it was dolls that did something better than the other, like Reason. Reason had this thing where, and it wasn't supported by VSTs yet, right? Reason had this thing or this ability to it had the sound to it. And the whole idea was rack mounts. You know, you can like switch the thing to go to rack and you can move chords like you moving physically and go like it's like going behind a rack and pulling chords out of something and connect here and doing this and get a different sound. You know, that was the big thing for Reason, and it had this sound to it, you know what I mean? And um the compressors in there and the drum racks, the way the drum sounds, and just like it just had this song. And then later on they got this quarter, man, that chord thing in there is pretty amazing, and the sounds in there is pretty awesome, right? Anyway, Logic. Logic comes with a million things, million plugins, a million sounds, blah blah. I'm paraphrasing. It comes with a decent amount of stuff. Logic was like the cheap way of getting everything you need, and like Logic was on the map for that. Pro Tools was mainly for mixing, so mix engineers would pick Pro Tools, and Pro Tools was like industry standard, and they are still in older studios. And you know, if you're doing something major, they're gonna say Pro Tools. You know what I mean? I wouldn't pick Pro Tools for music because I felt like it wasn't great for doing music, like making music in Pro Tools, but you can mix it in Pro Tools. See, that's the thing. Like every DAW was known for something. You know what I'm saying? Ableton Live was mainly for live, like performing live on the stage, and uh, EDM producers, like if you're getting into automation, you know, that type of thing, making it do different things. Cubase was mainly for film production because of the 7.1 or the 5.1, or like the way it handles video, and um, the way you can route things out, and like this is, and Pro Tools is obviously one of those things that stacks up next to Cubase because especially for video editing, audio, like post and pre-production, Pro Tools was that thing, right? But nowadays everything is like leveling up, and so it's like, where do I go? Because like Studio One, you can do video production, not as good as Pro Tools or Cubase, but they leveling up. They you And then Bitwig hit the market. Bitwig is like uh, Ableton Live, but they do way more. Like, you get way more bells and whistles for your money in Bitwig. And Bitwig also supports the Machine Jam that I have back in the background. It's like, what do you get? What do you like? So when you say you have Serato, which is good. I mean, Serato will be what you have as a plugin. You know, just keep that no matter what platform you work in. But then you mentioned that you have the Scalar and say Logic, Studio One, and then you have Ableton. So now we get into the question now. MK49 or Push 2? I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question. It depends on who you are. Like, what are you doing? What are you more of a beat maker? Like, you like pads, bang on pads? You know what I'm saying? Or are you more so if you're gonna get it's see, the Push 2 is specific to Ableton Live mainly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't imagine getting Push 2 as a regular MIDI device for anything else. Although it may support that, but it's like, it's pointless. It's really made for Ableton Live. So it makes sense to be able to navigate in there. So are you more so a Ableton Live person? Then yeah, the Push 2 makes sense. You know what I'm saying? MK49, it's more so universal. Now with the new upgrade, the new integration now, Studio One, it makes sense to have this thing with Studio One now. You know what I mean? Before it was like, no, it didn't make sense. But now that we have that integration, now we rocking right now. Because that before it made sense to have this with Logic, because it works seamless in Logic, and it still do. I still think there's some kinks and things like that between Studio One and, you know, that could be, you know, worked out in the future updates, whatever. But you get what I'm saying? It's making it hard to really pick what's gonna. So it really boils down to who you are. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you know, that type of thing. Are you? I guess it makes a difference as to, like, if you are a hip hop producer, R&B, EDM, you know, that kind of helps a little bit. But then again, it's like you could be an EDM producer and use a Studio One. Again, it's hard to say. Like, it's all about workflow. That's what I like to tell people. All right, next question. Kevin, I am also looking Push 2, so it looks like a game changer in the workflow, but no money, and also it has arrangement problems, as they say. Look, also no innovation. I'm gonna put that on the screen so you guys can see see what I'm mumbling about. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like, everything has kinks and bugs. Nothing's gonna be perfect. You just gotta kind of go after. I think what's the most important thing is you need to decipher which is most important out of all of this, hardware, software, right? Because it makes a difference. Because, like, if you like the push, then you want to go with the program that it supports. It makes sense that way. You know, if you just really in love with the push, or if you're in love with Studio One, you know what I'm saying? Then you need to pick hardware devices that support that workflow. Like this, for instance. Have you guys heard of this? It's called the Atom Pad. If you're a Studio One person, you probably should have one of these. I am not against this at all, but I like my keyboard. I like machine. I turn this thing on often, more often than not, and it's pretty cool. Like if I'm working the impact, sometimes I pull up impact. Will turn this thing on and get it going. And for a minute, this was what I was using to hit the play stop, record type thing or whatever. And in my setup right now, everything is right in front of me, but I changed my setup a lot. I'm going to get tired of this, and I'm going to move things around. And that integration is going to really matter the most, because if my keyboard is over here somewhere or over there, I want to be able to hit play and start and record and loop and things like that, instead of like relying on this. I have a wireless keyboard that I had. I still have it. And I will move this close to where I'm working. But I don't like, I got rid of that because I wanted to be able to plug in, because of the USB on either side. It's more, I like the way this keyboard feels, and plus getting rid of the Bluetooth, because that pulls CPU from your computer as well. So I just I connected that with a different computer. So yeah, it all comes full circle with this new update. Man, these are some good questions. I appreciate them. You can pull up third-party VST and control. Absolutely. I think I addressed that. I'm just getting to it late. Thanks for the response. Push 2, here I come. Unopened MK S49 is going back. Yeah. If like I say, man, like if you love Ableton Live, push 2 makes better sense. Now, I will say this. The MK49 does support Ableton Live as well. Like it has that integration with Ableton Live. And if you are a native instrument person, like you like using contact instruments and things like that, or it makes sense to have the board, because you can browse and do stuff with, or if you machine person, you know what I mean? But again, like if you're an Ableton person and you want to use Ableton Live, the power behind the native DAW itself, if you're not moved by Native Instruments products, then yeah, it definitely makes sense to have Push 2 as your hardware. In my opinion, I say both of them, like having both of them makes sense in my opinion. And that's just me. But you may be on a budget, and I'm not trying to fight that. Like they say music producers are one of the brokest people on the places earth, because they market this stuff to us. They are always coming out our pockets with new and integrative, and that's something else I want to address. Someone said to me earlier, they said they feel like um I forget which one was lacking, because the machine. Someone said something like the Kai NPC, like, because when I put out that thing about Native Instruments, I put out a video about like what was going on with them. You guys check that video out. Someone was like it just feels like Akai been producing new things every month. Just throwing out new stuff, and they on top of everything and blah blah blah. And they felt like Native Instruments was slowing down and blah 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 whatever. And my thing is like, man, if you can't learn how to produce, make music with what you have, you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong market. All of this stuff look great. lights, colors, and technology and great and things like that. Like I love technology too, but at some point it's like I'm not going to go after everything that they throw at me because I'm trying to make money. I'm not trying to like chase the latest thing, you know. That's the reason why I was fighting for integration. I don't want to go buy another device. I want integration since we know that integration exists in this board and why we ain't got that in Studio One. You know what I'm saying? So like, so I'm straight for a while. Now, the only time you guys will see me with something new is because someone sent it to me. And then it's my job to show you guys how that stuff works. And then there you go. All right. Let's see. Creative, have you? Okay. Creative. So let's read this question. I use Cubase, but willing to change to Ableton only for this. Is it worth so a big change for a piece of MIDI device? Thanks. Mm, I don't. That's again. That's touchy, and I say that because it depends on you. Like what is really going after you. Now anybody else would go and tell, like, I'm not the person who's going to say no, man, that's not worth it. You should, if you have Studio One, learn Studio One. You don't go after Ableton Live, you're going to be terrible, and because you didn't learn what. I'm not that person. I feel like if you are lacking inspiration and workflow and you know whatever you're doing in one place, why not go and try something else? So my thing is, this is my theory. You test the waters and see what you like. And whatever you like, you stop there. And you learn that DAW in and out, or you learn that hardware in and out, and you make killer beats, killer music, killer whatever using that thing. And you just take that and just do your thing in there. And I'm not really for owning all of the DAWs, although I have several DAWs, but it was just me trying to get a feel for what's out here and what makes sense to my workflow and what I'm willing to continue working in or not. Um, and I must say, so far, like testing different platforms, I've kind of always came back to Studio One. Actually, Studio One has never left my workflow. It was the music process, the music creation. I was testing out Bitwig. I test out Ableton Live for a little bit. Um, I have Machine. I make music in there here and there, like the standalone. Every once in a while I'll do that. Um, I have Reason. I've tested that out. What's another one I have? I've never tested out FL Studio, believe it or not. I have Pro Tools because I have to have it because I get projects in it, and all I do is go in and consolidate everything and bounce it out and get it in Studio One. But I always find myself coming back to Studio One, like, because the type of stuff that I'm doing. See, that's the whole point. Like the type of things that you're doing. I'm doing a bunch of film composing and commercial making, things that involve video production, post production, um, stuff like that. And I find myself coming back in Studio One because Studio One is a solid platform to me for that type of stuff. Because I can bounce straight to video now. Remember, that was the issue before. We didn't have video export. Now we have that. I think that was 4.5. Now we can export to video, and it's been phenomenal. I used to have to pull up Logic for that to export music. Like, you prefer to do music in Studio One, and you still got to go to Logic. You know what I mean? Now I don't have to go to Logic no more for that purpose. Now I only go in Logic if I just feel inspired to make something in Logic. because there is some things in Logic that I like, but it's not my main thing. Like I would definitely use Studio One over anything. But the thing is, with Studio One, you have to have your own sound library, you know. So, but if you don't have sounds, Logic is probably the best option. I was referring to specific plugins, scale of 1.8. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. If I don't remember what question or who asked that question, but Ned says run Komplete standalone in the background. Set your Komplete virtual input and output into Studio One, and you can use chord and scale mode in every instrument in Studio One. I forgot about that. Yes, you can do that, and it's crazy because I made a video on that. Because you can use the presets. You can use a preset like the color presets on your keyboard, like in the complete incomplete, what is it? The Komplete Kontrol, the actual application. Like I think it was Arcade. I was using Arcade. See, Arcade has specific range on there where you can go from, I think it's from C3, like C3 to, I forget, but they have a range where all of the samples live, and then there's another range where you can actually change the notes. You can alter the pitch of each sampled note. And so I was showing you guys how to, like, you can set your keyboard up where it could be blue right here, then it could be yellow right here, then it could be green right here, or inside of Contact. If you guys working in Contact, inside of Studio One or whatever. And so they have key switches. At a certain range, lower octave, the key, I think that's by default. As a matter of fact, I think if you're using Contact, it definitely does by default. But if not, like, but again, like other programs you're using, other plugins you're using, they will do certain things in different octaves, right? And you can like color code that stuff, and you can go in and change the preset. Say, oh, you could label everything and say, oh, we're in Arcade right now. I'm gonna change the preset, so now I know exactly where things are. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you just, yeah, that's what's up. Appreciate that, Ned. Appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, no problem, Rob. Yo, I should have known this was gonna come up. Yeah. Reason 11 is coming soon, and they're making some big moves. You can now use their racks and instruments in other DAWs. I knew that was coming. Yes, yes, indeed. I am excited about that because, like I mentioned earlier, Reason is pretty dope to me, and the sounds that they were producing, like the compressor, I forget the name of that compressor. I always like using that compressor because of what it was doing. It was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So Reason, they even changed their name, I think, to Reason Studios, right? Or Reason Studio. And they're also changing the logo and kind of going through that whole motion. And there are a lot of Reason propeller heads that are not happy about what they're doing. But there are a lot of people who think that the new innovation is dope. I am one of those guys that think it's pretty awesome how they're doing it because it gives me more creative options. So you mean to tell me I can get that Reason sound in Studio One? Oh my God, really? Don't tell me that. That is dope. I love it. Yeah, so you can use their racks inside of any DAW as a plugin. That's pretty awesome. And I think you can run Reason, like rewire or something like that in the DAW. And man, I think it's in beta right now. But yeah, that's some good stuff right there. Beatmaker. Beatmaker is another one. I had my fair share of Beatmaker. I'm Beatmaker is pretty cool. I like them. I think it's Beatmaker 3. Is that the third version? I think they probably have 4 now. I don't know. It's kind of like a iPad thing or mobile type thing. I think you get on your iPhone as well. I just it's crazy because I did a video asking personas, can y'all do a Beatmaker app or whatever? But Beatmaker is cool. It's cool. I just don't have experience like making full stuff. I didn't really have interest, and they also reached out to me as well. Like, you know, they wanted me to do a review. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gotten serious. I think at that time the iPad that I had was not optimized or whatever. It you know, it was crazy. Yeah, so I'm reading this here. Let me see, making sure it's safe to put it up. Okay. Um yeah, Kevin Smith, yeah, appreciate you coming, man. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate you hanging out. If you if you get this. This is his first time commenting and interacting with me. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Hello from, maybe y'all can, Alicia from Uzbekistan. I butchered that. I know I butchered that. But hello to you too. Appreciate you joining the channel. Uh, you are welcome here. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I agree with you. Reason is on a whole nother level. Uh, I I I dig them. I dig them. Cubase. You are with Cubase. Awesome choice. Awesome choice. The integration with this keyboard and Cubase is seamless in Cubase. No issues there. What drum kit did they come from? The '06 BBL kit. I don't know. And you got the exact file name too. '06. Let's see what comes up. '06. Oh, it's '06. '06. '06 BBL kit. Um, I just want you to see what I see. I'm putting that in BBL. Maybe I'm in the wrong section. I'm looking in my files, so nothing in my files is popping up. You said a '06 BBL kick. I don't think I have that. Oh 06, let's see. 06 BBL. Yeah, I don't have it. BBL kick. Now, if you're referring, maybe it's on my other drive or something like that. If you see me work with that kick, and you said it's a kit plug, which is a site that has dope sounds. The name of that kit, because that is the only kit that I have from them. It is. Let me see if I can remember what kit that is. The kit plug. The kit plug. Yeah, I have to hit them up and get some more kits from them. Like, hey man, you can get that kit. I want to talk about that. Let me see. Let me see if I'm on that site. Let me see if I can remember it exactly. Oh, they got way more. There's way wow. They've been at work. They're not playing. They're not playing at all. Uh, the blackout. That's what it was. That is the name of the kit. Blackout. Well, it's gonna say BLX. BLX. The A. Uh, the X is substitution for the A. So it's gonna be B. Blacks out. Blackout. Let's see if I can show you. This is the kit that I was using. Cause I've seen you mention something from the kit plug. That's where it's coming from. Uh, I do remember that one because that's the only one I have, and it's for $30 right now. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. You can visit that website and hit play the preview here, and you could probably hear that kick if that's what you're looking for. So I hope I addressed everyone's question, and I hope that this stream was fruitful and helpful and informative and all that good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. You guys were awesome with the questions, and of course, continue to ask questions on the comment section. You know, once I log off, whatever. If you have anything, and I'll address them. You know, when I see them. Focus, dude. Where you been? Now I have to save up and get a complete controller now, bro. No, 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 no. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. You got one of these. I know you got one of these. You good with this. Cause it's doing the same thing. If you have one of these and a keyboard, you good. And unless you're using complete stuff a lot, like contact, whatever, then it makes sense to have a keyboard that supports that. But I use the screens on this thing. Like, I am a heavy native instrument person. I use my machine a lot, and the keyboard goes with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in the screens making adjustments and doing different things. And so it mean a lot to me for someone like me that use Native Instruments product and have the hardware that goes with it, and then have a piece of my keyboard to work with Studio One. So it made sense. It makes sense for me to have this setup. Like, I'm complete right now. Get it? I'm complete. I'm complete. That should be a saying. 4.5.3 is complete. Yeah. That should be a saying, bro. Like, that's dope. Make a t-shirt like that. I am complete, and then have the version, like, spell it like Complete Control. And until they have made this possible, it's complete now. That's dope, bro. Yeah, I need to write that down. You guys, my lower third has been like doing my advertising for me. I hope you guys are subscribed to the channel and you visit the website and get you one of these. If you don't like this, there's more designs here. This hat that I wear on all of my videos, y'all need to get one of those. Like, seriously, like, for real, for real. You need one of these. I'm not asking you to go to the channel. I'm saying you need to go. You need to go to the website. You need to buy one of these hats, and then send me a picture showing me you rocking this. Because if you're a creative person, you need to show that you're a creative person, and I need to see that. I need to see that y'all with me. You know what I mean? Y'all need this shirt. You need it. This is a part of life. Like, that's just the only way to do it, man. If you creative, why not tell everybody? Tell everybody you're creative. I use Complete stuff all the time, and that's why I want it. Okay. That's what's up, bro. I just always see you doing like arcade videos and you know what? Yeah, arcade, and I'm trying to remember some stuff I've seen you do. But that could have just been for video, you know. That's what's up. Yeah, that's cool. Then yeah, man. I have a couple of people who let me know that the M32 is pretty dope. I think it's a 32 key. It's smaller than this, and it doesn't have the window. I mean, if you want the screens, then, you know, it makes sense to get it. But like, that thing supports it too. Like, it supports the whole integration type deal. You know, just throw that out there. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. It is about that time. Look. I gotta go. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Follow us on Creative Sound on all platforms. KREATVESOUND. Pay attention to the spelling. And enjoy the new integration between Studio One and Complete Control gear and stuff like that. I'm Ella from K Sound. I'm used to saying that. K Sound. I mean, it's still K Sound, but I'm spelling it out. Creative Sound. Ella from Creative Sound. I'm signing out, guys. Remember, music is art. You're the artist. Paint your picture. I'm out of here. Till next time. Appreciate y'all hanging out.